and you think you're going to give me a $30 meal for some content that would cost $4,000, I'm going to have to decline. Hey guys, welcome back to Is It Tuesday podcast. I'm Cris Cavallari. I just ran to the store on my way to the, look at me, child. One thing for sure, these braids, we love them, but you almost die. Like, I've stepped on them a million times. I choked myself in my sleep. But today, on my way to the studio, I stopped at Target to get some like blush, like little shit, and I received an email. And it's crazy because one thing I realized, talking about certain topics and things that have occurred starts off in like something happening, and I'm like, I need to tell somebody. I need to give them some advice on how to handle it, how I'm going to handle it, how my lower self would have handled it, how my higher self is going to handle it. It's always you against you, right? But backstory, I'm heading to Target to grab some things and I get an email. Now, prior to this email, I'm getting like, oh, we would love for you to be a guest at a event, right? We've been on Instagram, social media for a really long time. And what I've realized is people really monitor your influence, whether you're an influencer or not, because it's a lot of y'all. Y'all don't know. Y'all are the real influencers. A lot of y'all, a lot of the small brands, a lot of the, black girls just walk into the store, somebody see you driving by. Like, a lot of people don't realize the influence that they have. And what I wanted to start telling you, like, honestly, I remember telling my daughter years ago, she has a decent following on social media. I still don't tag her. I stopped tagging her when she was about 16, I want to say 16, 17. But I wanted to tell her because she's grown her following and she's like, oh yeah, I'm wearing this shirt. This brand sent it to me. I was like, oh, okay, did they pay you? She was like, no. And I'm like, well, check this out. They sent you a $40 t-shirt. You wear it. They get, let's just say 25 sales, right? You do the math. They didn't give you anything. So, I started just realizing, hey, I tell her, but let me tell you. Because she's young, she's 23. She just want free shit. A lot of people want free shit, and that's cool if you just want some free stuff. But just know somebody's making some money off of you, and you ain't making a dime. I'm driving to Target. I get this email, and a couple of days ago, I was invited to an event. Like, oh, we want you to come. Like, you should come if you're free. Just come, just come. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'm free. It's my kid-free weekend. I want to network. Not understand it, and this is where I can say what I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna say it with confidence. Some of them rooms need you there. Some of those rooms that you're like, oh, let me go because this would be amazing for me. It's more beneficial for them to have you there than you to be there. Over the last, couple years, I want to say like 2. I know I say 2 all the time. It's actually probably more than 2. It's probably 3, going on 3 years, that slowly I've started to realize that I don't have to be at every event. I don't have to sit at every table. I don't have to, jiggy my way in somewhere to do these things. Like, you have to know that the right people, the right connections will genuinely come to you. And that's not saying not to go out and network. I'm telling you to go out and network, but I'm telling you, don't beg to be in a room where you're the centerpiece. And this person invited me out. And I was really ecstatic. I was like, oh, you know what? That'd be good. Like a little, 1-2, that'd be cool. And they're like, oh, we're going to email you. The person tagged somebody and they emailed me. And it was so funny because at first it was just a nice, like a nice, genuine, hey, we would love for you to come. In a verbal interaction. And now this email. Now, let me first say this. I don't want anyone to feel like you can't go to events. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you should go. You should use discernment. You should read, like see what's expected of you. There we go. Because nothing is free. Remember your grandmom used to say that, girl, nothing's free. And if it's free, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you more than I would have just paid the $30. No, no, thank you. Cause this sounds like work. So anyway, I get this email, and after I'm reading the top and it's saying what's included in this nice gesture of an invite, right after that was, we want you to do this. We want you to post 7 reels, 7 this, 12 of these, this, mention the company, this company, this company, this company. It started feeling like a contract for work. This is not a, we would love for you to come and hang out. This was, hey, I know your influence. I know your market, your demographic. I need your people. So let me figure out how to butter you up with some biscuits. I don't even want the biscuits. Before I got to where I am today in my thought process and my perspective, it's, you want to go to everything. A lot of y'all don't know that you don't need to be at everything. Your value is in being a mystery. Like you wouldn't go, and let's just use Beyonce. Let's just use the most popping, that superstar of our generation. How often do you see Beyonce at all of these places that everybody else be at? And this is not, like I said, this is not saying you can't, but this is like, what would the purpose, would the outcome be better for Beyonce or for the people? Beyonce is not going to have a good time. She's going to be working. She's going to have to be Beyonce. She can't just be like, she got to be like taking pictures. And if she don't take pictures, oh, she ain't taking a picture with nobody. If she don't see it, like it's a lot of work to go to things where you thought you were going to enjoy yourself, but you're actually there on promo. So when I read this lady's email, it literally went from a nice gesture to, in exchange for you being invited here, we need 3 of these, mentioning all of these things, as I said previously, mentioning this. It really gave me, you're an influencer and you're coming to influence your people to come here. Well, there was no compensation at the end of that text, at the end of that email. So instead of me being an ego and being like, oh, I don't want to, I'm going to let the email sit for a little bit. I'm going to muster up a nice little response like, hey, this sounds so amazing. I would love to be a part of it. I did see that there's some guidelines for me to attend. After reviewing that, I noticed that these are actually things that this is a part of my brand, my business. So I would love to do this, but this is my fee for that. Are you still interested in moving forward? I've been so bamboozled. And you know what? It's so crazy that this is coming up. I've been in positions where I thought I was going out to have a good time and it turned into something else. And my social battery runs out, like a lot of us. My social battery runs out. And not only does it run out, I feel, with having Instagram, having TikTok, being on YouTube, doing all of these things, the anxiety of people knowing you and you not knowing them can be a little scary. You may be in Target. We're just gonna use Target. Target, holla at me. We're just gonna use Target because I've already said Target. We're not just about to just be, throwing out all these places. But you're in Target, someone sees you that follows you off a social platform, and instead of just saying hi, just saying, hey, just making eye contact, because I know, I don't know if you know, but I know when someone sees me and they know me because I could tell how their face, like how they look at me. And I'll just, I would prefer you to speak. I would prefer you to just give a little head nod or hey. I would prefer you to just come up and say something to me, opposed to getting in your car, DMing me, hey, I just seen you. Now I'm scared. Getting home, getting on Instagram, oh my God, I seen such and such and da-da-da-da, and you didn't say anything to me. That comes from I had a home invasion a couple years ago where my home was robbed, and I was there. I was held at gunpoint. They followed someone that I was dating at the time to my home. We're going to talk about those situations later, but this is where this comes from. The lack of feeling safe is very serious when you are on these social media platforms. But to get back to the Target situation, someone sees you, say da 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 da. It's a gift, and then it's like people make it weird sometimes. But when I seen this young lady saying these things like, "Oh yeah, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this," I'm like, baby, I don't even go out. I've been bamboozled before. I've been invited to things thinking, feeling like, yes, finally I can just go somewhere and unwind. And then it turns into, oh, I gotta be on. I can't just come and enjoy my night. This feels like a setup. And I don't think the young lady, I'm gonna talk about the situation, fuck it. I don't think the young lady that put me in that position 3 years ago, 2 years ago, intentionally put me in that situation. I went out with her and I was just so thrilled to have a good night. It's been a long time since I had a good time. And this is when a lot of things was happening at home in my personal life. So it was just like a breath of fresh air. Like, yes, I can get out for a little bit. I can unwind. And I get to this event and it's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Everything is beautiful. And the young lady that invited that young lady seen that I was there. And let's be very clear. I know that when I'm out and someone sees me, I don't mind that someone sees me. I don't mind that someone speaks to me. I don't mind any of these things. I encourage you to speak to me. Do not get in your car and say anything. Do not, whatever. But in this particular situation, I get to this event, beautiful gowns, beautiful everything, beautiful food was good, everything was good until I am approached by the person, the honor, is it the honoree? Like the person of the hour, right? And she's like, "Oh, you came. Oh my gosh, I didn't think you were gonna come." Like, I'm thinking I'm a plus one. I'm thinking I'm a plus one. And it was what the young lady said was so sweet that I understood where she was coming from. So this is no malice. This is no ill, like this is not a place to be. I'm not trying to be like a smart ass about it. I'm really speaking of me feeling like I was bamboozled with these invites. I'm thinking I'm having a night out. I'm thinking I'm having me a girls' night out, and it turns into I'm very uncomfortable night out. I'm very, very uncomfortable. This person tells me like, "Oh my gosh, like you came," and she's such a beautiful person. If you are watching this, you are a beautiful person. This is nothing against you. This is how I felt. But I felt like it wasn't clear. Like, hey, my friend is having this party and she would love for you to be there. Like, da 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 da. There was no clear indication that I was walking into someone's private function. I'm really big on birthdays, baby showers, weddings being very private. Like if me and you are not like this, chances are, and I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, but if I don't invite this person, they're gonna be upset. And if this person don't come," I really value, it's not a secret, it's sacred. I really value people being there that actually are there to uplift you, pour life into you. Like, sometimes y'all go to people's birthday party, you're like, "Child, that chicken was cold. Girl, that wedding, why she ain't wear Spanx? Why this?" Like, it's just those negative words that y'all don't know. It spells like, "Child, her hair always look a mess." Like, it's just always that cackling. So the young lady says this, which was fine because it was such a beautiful moment. Because her mother said to me, "I don't know what you said or what it was, but at that time, my daughter was following you. She was in a dark space and you really helped her." That was fine. I felt like, thank you, God. I understood that. What it was after that was a young lady saying, "Yeah, look, I got this from you." And I'm like, "Okay, thank you." Then this one like, da 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 da. This is where the line was drawn. I was in the line getting my food because the food, like I said, the food was busting. And the person behind me, literally, you in a line, like in the cafeteria line, the person behind me whispers in my ear. I had on this very beautiful dress from Hanifa, very low cut. She goes, "I see Goliath's mom's butt crack." In a whisper in my ear as I'm getting food. And I turned and I said, "What?" "I see Goliath's mom's butt crack." I felt like a fish in a bowl. I felt like any little thing that I did was being monitored. I felt out of place. I felt violated. I felt like I have to be Beyonce at this point in my life. I cannot just go somewhere because I just want to go. I need to be a little bit more selective of the places that I'm going and who's inviting me, because I'm not, and this is with God, this is with nothing but love. I'm not just anybody. And now that I know that people are genuinely intrigued and want to, there's some people that I love to, this is what I'm gonna say. This is where the uncomfortability comes from. Let me tie these two, this home invasion and this I see Goliath's mom's butt crack. The fact that people know you and you don't know them, when something has happened to you traumatically, everything is like you're on alert. So when I'm somewhere, I know where the exit sign is. I know where this door is. Like, I know these things. So just to feel completely blindsided. So now when I'm invited to an event, I always ask myself, is this worth me going? Is this worth, like we always say, like, oh, I want to network. You know, we got to be in these rooms. We got to be in these rooms. Some rooms you don't have to be in. Your name is in them rooms. Your presence is felt in these rooms. Trust me, they're talking about you in these rooms. So you don't have to physically be in a room to be in a room. Your distance sometimes brings more value, because it's not like, think about it. You're trying to find some shoes, you can't find them. I've been looking, I can't find them. When you find that one thing, you're like, oh my gosh, like it's like a Willy Wonka little chocolate tab, like the gold tab. When I went to that event, that's when I stopped accepting invitations out, because I knew that there was something to it. What's the catch? If you're inviting me to dinner and the whole time your phone is in my face and I'm trying to eat, one of my friends did that to me years ago. I haven't seen her in a long time. Shout out to her. But we were just having a girls' night. I love collecting content. I love getting pictures. I love, filming my drinks and all of that stuff. But when it's a us time and we're catching up, and the first thing you do is your phone come out and you want to tag me, but you also want to catch me in these weird, awkward things, I just always feel like, what's the point? So when I got this email today, and it was so like, we're just like a little small group, and then it turns into a job description with no funds. I want you guys to start being realistic and asking yourself, hey, is this something that I'm forcing myself to go to? Do I really want to go? Am I going to have a good time? What is my point in going? What is the purpose of me going? Because I'm going to tell you, a lot of these things we should skip. Also, allow the time to show, like, really, the person that initially invited me said this to me like 2 weeks ago. The person just hit me up, and you could tell that he, unfortunately, probably gave her like, oh, she needs to be there. And then they showed her probably my Instagram, and they're like, okay, let's get her in here because she has an influence with her community. I remember someone telling me, you have a cult following. And I was like, do I? So that means you're doing research on my following, which you should. If that's your business and that's what you do, you are a firm and this, that, and the third, and you connect the dots and you want people to network. But see, the thing is, you're not being honest. You're not even being honest to say, hey, I see what you're doing and I can help position you to meet certain people. We're going to go to these events. We're going to shake hands. My stepfather used to call me the mayor. He'd say, oh, you shake hands, hug babies, take pictures. And I used to laugh like, what are you talking about? But I am naturally a people person. But when I realized that a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people use your likeness for their gain. There's a difference between you sending me a $50 t-shirt and you making money off of me and not breaking me off of, you ain't giving me none of the Kit Kat. When I got that email today, I was just looking like, I love how the new girls, the influencers, that this is their job. I am an accidental. I'm not an influencer. I just have influence. I don't do partnership. I don't there's a lot of things that I have not tapped into, but I see the girls doing it and I'm like, oh, this is for real. This is their life. They getting thousands of dollars on this, you know. If you think that you're going to send me a free thing and disguise it as a gift, hey, I want to send you a gift. That happened to me too. Hey, I want to send you a gift. I never posted it. The person was like, hey, did you ever, you got the gift? I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see it in your stories. I said, well, I get tons of gifts and I don't post them in my Instagram because you wanted me to do promo. Say what it is. If you are an entrepreneur and you're watching this, and if you are, you know, wanting to collaborate, wanting promo, don't slide in someone's DM and say, I want to gift you something. Say, hey, and be honest. Be honest. Hey, I've studied your interaction with your audience. I love your engagement. I love the content that you create. I was wondering if you're open to doing a collaboration, a partnership. I will send you some products for you to review. And then if you like them, if you think that this is something your audience will like, we can talk about moving forward to getting some content so you can share it with them. The problem is people just want to send you a gift, want you to open it up, tell them you love it. Here's the problem when you do that though. What if you didn't really try out this item? What if you did not really like the food at the restaurant? And now your friends, your audience goes to these places and they hate it. The customer service is horrible because let's face it, when there's an event and there's influencers and it's curated, they're going to get the best experience. I'm going to get the best experience. I'm going to get the food on time. It's going to be warm. I'm going to get the best customer service, hospitality, because I'm an influencer and you know that these things are being portrayed a certain way. What about the people that I send to you that are not influencers, that don't look the part for you? How are they going to be treated? That's why with me, if I don't like first of all, I don't post anything until I'm gone, number one. And I don't really do that whole like shout out anymore. That was going on with me for a long time. And that was when it was popping. Like when it was just, I thought it was genuine. When you're always posting someone's product because you love this person and you think that their product is great. And then you realize that the only reason that they were connected to you is because of your influence from the first place. You didn't even know that. You are tagging and wearing someone else's product. You got some product to be tagging and wearing of your own. You can do the same thing for yourself. And that's why it's like, I love, it's like, why don't you engage more in being an influencer? I'm like, first of all, the influencer friends that I know, this waiting 90 days to get your payment. You got to post this way. You got to tag it this way. You got to talk about it this way. I don't think I'm consistent enough to be an influencer like that. But what I realized when working my job before, this is when my Instagram, I was like, oh, I'm paying attention to where's that from? Where's this from? Where's that from? Why would I keep tagging another brand when I can be the brand that I tag? Anytime someone wants to send you something and say, I would love for you to post my business. Do you do shout outs? I look right at their Instagram. You ain't post your business in 2 years. You think me posting it one day is going to get you some sales? You can't even, I really want to teach, that's the next class. The next class is promoting without promoting. I'm wearing a Davenport top. This is one of my best sellers. I'm wearing some pants. These are a sample. I'm still debating because I want the leg a little bit tighter, but they zip up. So if I have a heel on, but these are athleisure pants that could be worn to the gym. They could be worn out. But see, I'm not impressed with them yet because I want them tighter at the ankle, just a little bit slimmer. And I always wear my product before they go on sale. I always wear it for weeks. I want to wash it. I want to see how I feel in it. I want to see if I can wear it to the, to play dates. I want to see if I can wear it to work. I want to see if I can wear it to girls' nights. And I've done that so many times that when it comes so natural, people think like, oh, this is just invite her. She gonna do what she do anyway. I've started intentionally like realizing you being in that room, y'all fighting to get in the room. They need you just as much. They need you. So if you're a young Black creative and you're watching this podcast today, even if you're not an entrepreneur, because entrepreneurship is not for everybody, but it's hard. I went to Target to get makeup because I said, okay, I'm dropping my son off at school at this time. I got to be here at this time. I'm not going to have time to do makeup because I want to make sure he has a balanced breakfast. We may have to finish his homework from the night before in the morning. I don't want to stress him out before we go to school. So this is what I need to do. I need to keep my makeup bag here. And I typically do. But then, of course, my brushes get dirty. You got to take them home. So I ran to Target and I'm doing all of these things. And I'm thinking, I'm like, if people really knew how much goes into being an entrepreneur, I would never tell you to quit your 9 to 5. I would tell you let your 9 to 5 fund your entrepreneurship if that's what you want to do. I would say go in the rooms that really make sense. Not all rooms make sense. It's gonna make them dollars and you're gonna be still lacking sense. Partnerships, study your audience, study what and sometimes this is gonna be a tough one for some of y'all. You're trying to give a product that nobody asked you for. This is what you do. If you a dresser, if you a finesser of the hair, look at what your audience is always complimenting you on. Mine just happened to be my style. I've always loved fashion. I know how to put that shit on. I know how to put it together. I know how to give you a scenario on how to wear your product. Shout out to all the brands that I've told them, hey, this is how you do this. They still got, we may, not be in the same area as we used to be, but I know how this thing works. If I wear this, it's a set. Well, it's separate, sold separately because some women are bigger at the top, some women are bigger at the bottom. But this is one of my best sellers. The reason it's a bestseller is because could be worn multiple ways. It could be worn like all of that. I only wear this one time. No, look. That's what these brands and these people that want to invite you somewhere, they know your specialty. They know your audience. They know your influence. And you think you're going to give me a $30 meal for some content that would cost $4,000? I'm going to have to decline. Although this seems like an amazing event and I would love to attend, because I'm going to be honest. And I know that, I say sometimes like I put race into things, but this is what it is. This is the world that we live in. If you don't see race, I'm sorry, but you're delusional and not the kind that you need to be. These white influencers are getting paid. I will be very clear. The people that invited me were not, they were white. And you invited me and said, I'm going to give you a meal voucher. Baby, I'm on a diet. I'm not eating carbs right now. So I'm going to say, you know what? How about this? I'll pay for my meal, but this is my fee. Are you ready to start asking for what you're worth? My free promo days are over. My free, let me go to this event because it may get me, it's over. If you invite me to something and it's a personal invite, and I'm very sacred with the things that I love. If I don't post, I don't want you to be like, hey girl, I ain't see you post nothing from the event. I know I was there. It was so amazing. Because a lot of times that's what the trickery is. And a lot of people right now don't know that sheer power alone is enough, that you are begging to be at a table where you the motherfucking prize, where you the centerpiece. You don't know that you're the centerpiece. I need you to realize that every room you step foot in, you are valuable. They see you. You don't see you. So since you don't see you, I can misuse you. I can use you as a flashlight for my dim light. I'm telling y'all now, the way the email came off, it was just like, it was a contract. It was a contract. But at the end of the contract, there was no numbers. But it's a lot of work that will be done in here. And when I look at my influence and I look at these other accounts, I'm like, this don't make sense. This is not beneficial for me. None of these people are going to come to the HQ. None of these people are going to tune in to Is It Tuesday. None of these people are going to wear Shop Icon. Why would I be in there? Start declining some things. You know how the old people say, you don't gotta go to every fight you're invited to. You ain't gotta go to every party you're invited to either. That's how you lose your sauce. That's how they swagger. Remember that? They swagger jack you. I think that If Beyonce was at everything, Beyonce wouldn't be Beyonce. Rihanna wouldn't be Rihanna. If you are at everything and you're so touchable and you're so in the mix, I think that you lose all your sauce when you're in the mix. Don't dilute yourself just because you think that's gonna, elevate you. It's not. Be very, very, choose wisely where you're going. Because you may be going to a dinner party and you the entree. You're the entree at these parties. I'm just saying, I looked at that today and I thought about how many of the influencer or the people that are up and coming and they want to promote their things more and they want to have an influence and they want to have, build their engagement. You need to just know that there's other ways to get to the goal. There's not one road to get to that mark. There's so many different ways to get there that because there's a lot of people like, I don't want to talk in front of the camera. I don't like doing this. Like I'm introverted, I'm alive with my friends and by myself, but I don't, I feel energy. Your face would be looking this, you'd be like, this is a lot. It's phony. It's like, hey, take a picture and they walk away, never talk to you again for the rest of the night. Didn't even tell you bye when they left. It's a lot if that's not you, and that's what I'm saying. If it is you, go for it. If it's not you, I want you to know something. You can still be successful. You can still get it done. You can still do all the things you need to do without compromising how you feel, without feeling like, oh, I don't really want to go, but if I don't go, it's a missed opportunity. No, it's not. Nothing that's for you is ever going to miss you. I recently started, like I said before, I started feeling like because I've been on a platform for so long, because I've shared so much before, the area that my life is in, it's changed so much that I've learned how to still get a lot without doing the most. That's the thing. The people that love to do it, get them, that's their niche, get them to do it. Because once it's like you got to start moving and operating in a different way. Before it was a hustle and bustle and we had to hurry up and do this and grow and grow and grow on here and do this and do this. And now it's like it's still growing, even with me saying, okay, now it's time for me to sit back and enjoy all that I've done for myself. And we're gonna take that. We're gonna enjoy that. We're gonna say, damn, I can get off of this because this is a lot of upkeep. Instagram not even the same no more. These new influencers, they got the, the algorithm changed. This, you got to post this way. Before we was just posting and it was just like fun. It was just like whatever. Now it's so strategic that I would prefer to pay them to do all of that because I haven't studied the new world of Instagram. I just have a great product and service. You guys can promote it for me. I'll pay you, but you have to be mindful that when someone's approaching you and they see the value in you, if they're not paying you, I've done a lot and I didn't get paid. Somebody's made $1 million off of my name on a shoe brand. They were supposed to pay me for each shoe that they dropped. It's the same shoe, but each color wave, each design of the shoe, I was supposed to get paid for. I think I got paid for the first 4, and I want to say this person made about 10 different variety of colors. And I realized after that, I missed out on so many. Well, let me clear that up. I didn't miss out on anything because what wasn't given to me, God has made up for it in other areas. So that there's no lack. We don't lack anything. There's no victim mentality. Like there's nothing. What this was because I wasn't on my P's and Q's and I didn't know the value of this. Someone took advantage of it. I want you to skip all of that. I want you to be a little bit more sharp with it, quick with it. I'm going to host a class. Or a one-on-ones to show you how to do these things, to go around that, to really spot it out too. Because this has to be reciprocity is across the board and even and most importantly in business. How are you making people millionaires and they giving you a couple $100? I laugh. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if Skims has an affiliate link, but the way the girlies tag skims on Instagram, I'd be like, do they have is there a link? Or maybe it is. See, that's why I asked the new girls. But the way the ones that I know ain't using the link, I'd be like, damn, they be going hard for these people and they millionaires and billionaires and this, that, and the third. I really want you to understand that the money that you're making for them, you can make for yourself. That's the end. That's where the ball drops. What you can do for others, you tagging Zara, you tagging this place and that place and this place and that place. If you have a business, a product, service, whatever, you can be doing the same thing for yourself, especially if you don't have a link. Thank you so much for joining me this week. I think that I'm going to curate some type of one-on-one. I love the content class that we did, but I want it to be a little bit more in depth. We talked about, this, that, and the third, but I want it to be the real, hey, yes, you can make these videos, I could give you this free tip. There needs to be a beginning, a middle, and an end when you're doing content. A lot of y'all drive across the bridge and don't nobody know where y'all went. Like, did y'all go to Traders? Did y'all go here? Did you go get your nails done? Did you go have lunch? Like, where's the story? Where's the buildup? But in order for you to really see what you should be doing, you got to study your audience. You have to listen to what your audience loves. You have to see oh my gosh, your reels do great. Your style videos, knock out style videos. This does great, knock out this. The thing that keeps me going with this podcast, I'm gonna be honest, because the podcast doesn't make me money yet. I said yet. That doesn't mean it's not. But at this current moment, this is my money that I'm putting into this. I purchased the camera. I purchased the equipment. I have a team that I pay to do all of these things, but I know the value in it. I know that when I read your comments, when I get your DMs, I'm like, this is crazy, because this is how it started. It started with me at a desk with my phone up, propping, giving my advice, giving my opinion, unsolicited at times. But now to see that I went from giving my advice on the phone at a job, and now I'm a life coach. Now I'm a health coach. Like, now I'm a business coach. Now I'm giving you the tools to succeed in your own life. Not to compete with the Instagram world, because motherfuckers, it's hard. You will really enjoy your life when you stop competing with someone else's life. When you stop trying to keep up with Instagram and the Joneses. They can't even keep up with themselves. Chill out. Your goal was to pay your rent and to pay your car note. Your car note and your child's this, and go on trips and get to this. Whatever your goals is, once again, make a list of what you would like for your life to look like. Make a vision board, what it is that you really want these goals. And this is what my life is going to look like. I promise you this. If you've been here for a long time, if you followed me since I was on Instagram, baby, you can tell I've never shared any of these vision boards and this, that, and the third, but I am a master manifester. Okay. Everything I said I was going to do, I've done it. And it's not in their time, because a lot of people are like, oh, you procrastinate. I do, because when it doesn't feel right or when spirit doesn't lead me, I don't do it. You got to stop trying to compete and be in the let me, who deemed these, that's where you messing up at. You just study the game, and then you make it your own. We're going to teach that. We as in me. No B. Simone, no shadiness. Me as in me. Because the power has always been in me. And sometimes you're so busy building other people's things that you forget that you got a whole bunch of blocks right next to you that you haven't even worked on. So going to these free events that have hidden agendas in them, going to these free invite parties and this, that, and the third has hidden agendas to them, and you're the only one left out with nothing. You feel more drained than you do empowered. If you're interested in signing up, let's get it done. Let's really start pouring into ourselves the way we pour into others. I'll see you guys next week. Peace.